And now we meet the next of the 2011 inductees.
Even when he was just a kid, old-timers would remark, "That boy can really play." Oh yeah, he could play all right, and that was just the start of it. Nathan Buckley spent much of his junior development years in the Northern Territory, which was then considered by many as a footballing backwater. But his precocious talent couldn't go overlooked for long, and he was soon picked up by Port in his hometown of Adelaide. By the time he'd played in a premiership side and won the Magarey medal, he had well and truly come to the attention of AFL sides. And after a compulsory year with the ailing Brisbane Bears, he was free to go to the club of his choice. The club seemed to fit him as easily as the famous black and white colours, and they in turn quickly embraced the strapping young centreman with the extraordinary ability to outmuscle, outbustle and outthink opponents. He brought a much-needed new engine room to the team, but he provided more than just drive. He also proved to be a natural leader. It was a quality that would lead him to being elevated to the captaincy in 1999. And as his possessions continued to mount, so did the honours. 6-time club best and fairest, 7 times All-Australian, Norm Smith medalist, and the crowning personal accolade, the 2003 Brownlow medal. However, the dream of a premiership continued to just elude him. And when after several more seasons, with age and injuries taking their toll, the time had come to hang up the boots. But he was far from finished yet. He'd set his eyes on new challenges. First in the media, then the big move into coaching. And if he'd always been willing to learn from the best, he certainly found that in his new mentor. Soon it will be time for him to take over the reins, and expect him to do it in the same manner he played his football, full of class, head down, and full steam ahead. We welcome Nathan Buckley, Brownlow and Magarey medalist, player, captain, coach, and now inductee into the Australian Football Hall of Fame.
Nathan, congratulations. You're a driven man. You wrote in your book of the fact that as a 19-year-old you set yourself to win the Magarey medal in 1992. This is something I presume you didn't set yourself for at any stage of your football life. Can you describe how it feels?
No, at the end of 91 I'd played 5 senior games of footy, so why wouldn't I aim for the 92 Magarey? I've never been afraid to aim high, but you're right, things and accolades such as this are not something that you script. They're not something that you really aim for. I think it's the kill with 1,000 cuts mentality, you know, session by session, game by game. You do your very best, and then you get, you know, everyone gets to where they finish through their endeavour and their efforts. And you know, very lucky and very fortunate along the way to have a lot of people support me through that period, and the game itself has been huge in my personal development.
You actually wrote that you're prouder of your development as a person than of any facet of your football.
Yeah, look, I think the game gets a bum rap at times. There's a lot of people that haven't had the experiences that many in this room have had sort of through the game of footy, and I really rile at suggestions that, you know, that the game has a bad culture at times, that we send our young people down the wrong path, and that is something that through personal experience that I've experienced the opposite. I don't know where I'd be without the game. I don't spend much time thinking about that because, of course, it's been a couple of decades now, and I've been very fortunate to have shared that time next to some fantastic people that have taught me some fantastic values and morals on how to live your life and how to get the best out of it, how to treat people, respect, honesty, discipline, self-discipline even more importantly, and you know, I feel very fortunate to have been a part of it.
You played it with every fibre of your being. That was apparent to anyone who watched you. Did you ever feel you could have smelt the roses more along the way?
Absolutely. I can get a little bit stoic at times if you haven't realised, Tim, but that emotion is there. I mean, it's in there. And for me, the time that it came out the most was when you were on the field of battle with your teammates and you were striving for something great. Through those moments, I was often, fairly tunnel visioned and very focused on how we needed to go about getting the result that we wanted. As has been spoken about, I eventually didn't get to the ultimate, which was to play in a premiership. But I've consoled myself that the journey is perhaps more important than the destination.
Well, again, quoting your own words, that left a massive hole in your life. Is coaching the way to the ultimate destination?
Who knows? I'm sure there's some people out there that can tell me, but look, I'm enjoying my role at the club at the moment. I'm very much looking forward to the responsibility that I've been entrusted with from the Collingwood Footy Club. I'm very fortunate to, as was said, to be mentored by Mick, and played the majority of my playing career under Mick. Have begun my coaching career under Mick, and look, all of my coaches have had a profound impact on, as I said, not just my football opportunities, but in my personal development. And I hope to be able to pass that on to other young blokes that are going to come through the system in the same way I did, and I hope that I can be as supportive and as much of a director and mentor to them as I've had plenty of others be to me.
That clearly has been a major factor in the football side of your life, but no doubt beyond. And your father and Jack Cale and the various coaches you've had along the way. Perhaps I should hand it over to you to say your thank yous.
Thanks, Tim. Yes. The coaches have played a massive part. Jack Cale was a very positive coach, and I feel like, as I said, very fortunate throughout the time to have the right people at the right time. And in 91, 92, Jack just told me to run around and follow my strengths. And I don't think I didn't lay a tackle in 1992. I didn't have to. There was plenty of blokes that were good at that he encouraged to do that. But I had Robert Walls the next year, and he was very hard on me. Vossi's already spoken about Wallsy, but he reminded me that tackling was an important part of the game, and that was something that I needed to throw myself into. But I wonder if I had those two guys at varying in the other way. If Wallsy was before Jack, I don't know if I would have got to Jack, because Wallsy was pretty hard. But through there, I mean, I've looking through the Hall of Fame at the moment. I've played next to Tony Shaw, Gavin Brown, who are obviously inducted. I've been coached by Wallsy, Lee Matthews, who was obviously very forthright, as Vossi said, in the first couple of years at Collingwood. Commentator next to Tim Watson, which was also very important, great guy. But I think ultimately those people have all been involved in mentoring you and helping you along the way. My father was very hard on me as a young bloke. I didn't want to listen, but then eventually I realised that his messages were intended in the right vein and actually had some merit behind them. I've got to remember that when I'm talking to young blokes and it looks like it's going in one ear and out the other. But that's come full circle. Dad stopped talking to me towards the end of my playing career about what I should be doing here, there and the other. But in the last couple of years, when I'm a rookie coach, all of a sudden I get a call from him every day saying, you're considering this and considering that. So it has come full circle. And whilst Dad was hard, Mum was very supportive and probably the lighter side of my character, which is probably seen more behind closed doors, comes out. So family, very important. I thank them. My wife Tanya, who's been a fantastic support, has probably enjoyed the existence as a player's wife and is understanding the difference as a coach's wife, and we'll go through that together, as will the two boys. But look, I've loved every minute of my association with football, whether it be at AFL level or anyone else at grassroots has been discussed. I think it's a fantastic part of our society. We're very fortunate to have been a part of it, and I feel very humbled to be accepted into the Hall of Fame in this honour, and look forward to, as I said, helping young blokes fulfil their dreams as I was able to fulfil mine.
You also said in the book there were no regrets. Nathan, we hope and trust that this adds to the sense of fulfilment from a great career. Nathan Buckley tonight in the Australian Football Hall of Fame.